everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kay, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at my project pan update. So this is update number 1 for 2021, and if you don't know what a project pan is, then I highly recommend you check out last month's video where I did the introduction to this year's project. It just gives you a little bit more information about what this project is about, what I aim to do with this project. And I also mentioned a few other people that are doing projects that I sort of, use as a resource for myself as well. So if you want to check that out, I just think that'll be a bit more useful than starting here. But if you do know what a project pan is, maybe you've been following other project panners, maybe you're following my project, then let's just get into it. So, I didn't do very well in January. Couple of reasons for that. One was that what I thought was going to happen in January regarding my work situation didn't happen the way I thought it would, and also I was actually quite ill for about a week in January. Not the dreaded, I had to have a test because people around me were getting that, and timeline wise it wouldn't have been a shock, but it actually wasn't. But whatever it was knocked me on my backside for about a week, so literally no makeup happened for a solid week in January. So it's just been really difficult for me to wear makeup in January. So I have made a little bit of progress on some of my products, and then others there's just been nothing at all. But we'll go through it, we'll talk about it, and I'll let you know where we are for next month as well. So the first product that we're going to talk about is primer, and the one in my project is the Illamasqua Hydra Veil Primer. Now I put 2 of these little pots in because I was convinced I was going to use them up. I never even finished one. As I said, January took a big hit. You can see from the photo that I did manage to probably use about half of one pot, but yeah, I've still got that left, and I've still got the second one. I'm gonna keep them in. I've actually really been enjoying them. I'd never used this this particular primer before, and the few times that I did get around to using it in January, I actually really liked it. It was cooling, refreshing, it did feel really hydrating as well, and that is something that my skin has definitely felt like it's needed over the past few weeks. So I'm definitely going to keep that in the project, and hopefully I can get some more use next month. Next we've got foundation, and mine is actually a BB cream. We've got the Nivea Essentials BB cream. Mine is in the shade Light. So I did make a little bit of progress on this. It started off the year at 42 grams and it is currently weighing in at 41.5 grams. So you can see I did use a little bit, but if you watched last year's videos, you'll know that I can definitely use more during a typical month. So it is what it is. I'm pleased I managed to, get some movement on that weight, but hopefully during February I'll be able to get a little bit more. Next is the Huda Beauty baking powder. Mine is in the shade Pound Cake. I've got a mark somewhere, there we go. So I made a mark at the beginning to show you where it was up to at the side of the container when it was all sort of flat. Flat's not the right word, I'm sure, but that's what I'm going with. There's no movement. I barely even dipped a brush in this throughout January, so there was no point in me making a mark. It would literally be over the top of this one. So that's that. Something I managed to make a little tiny bit of progress on was the MAC Fix Plus. This is in coconut, and this blue line, this little blue line here is where I introduced it into the 2021 project. All the others are from last year's project, and this purple mark here is where we are currently. So you can see not a lot of usage. As I said, didn't use a lot of makeup in January, but I'm pleased that I managed to at least, have a discernible line underneath. So that's that. Next we're on to bronzer, and I ended up getting rid of the Hoola bronzer. I tried to use it. I sort of dipped my brush in it a couple of times and I just got product breaking up and flying everywhere, and I just went, do you know what, let's just call it. So it's gone. And then the other bronzer that I introduced last month was the Too Faced Natural Lust bronzer. Because I knew that the Hoola probably wasn't going to last me, I decided to put this in too. Now last month this was weighing in at 110.5 grams and it's now weighing in at 110 grams. This is what this looks like right now, and you can see from the photos there's probably not that much difference, but yeah, it's a bronzer, it's working for me, it's staying in. Next was the blusher, and the one in my project at the moment is the 3 Concept Eyes blush cushion in Peach. Now, as I said in the intro video, I'm not sure how I'm going to measure this because it is literally just a cushion, but it's still going, it's not dried up, so we're gonna persevere with it. It's staying in. Next we're on to highlighters, and I've got 2 in my project at the moment. The first one is this Milk Makeup stick highlighter. So let me just roll that up a bit so you can see. That's where we are at the moment. You can see I've not really got down underneath that clear plastic part yet, so it's still going. I did use it a few times. If I've used highlighter, I've used this, but as I said, I haven't really used makeup an awful lot, so it is what it is. It's staying in. I'm determined I'm going to finish this. And then the other highlighter is the highlighter in the Natasha Denona Mini Blush and Glow. So this is what we're looking like. You'll probably be able to see this a lot better sort of in this image than you can in the photo, but my dip is getting slightly bigger, but again, I only used this a few times, so I wasn't expecting it to show any massive difference this month, but I'm still really enjoying using it. Blush aside, I've neglected, I've not touched that at all, I don't think. So again, this is staying in. Next is the eye primer from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm not sure I like this. Again, I've only used it a couple of times, so I need to give it more of a try before I decide one way or another. The texture of this just seems a little bit off to me. It's not my preferred texture is what I should say. I don't think there's anything wrong with the product as such. It's just, it's not something that I'm sort of gelling with, I suppose. Also, the way this product comes out, now I've seen a few people say that when they've squeezed it out, it just keeps coming. I don't have that issue, but what I am struggling with is how much I'm supposed to squeeze out in the first place. I always seem to have too much, and I think that's the reason I've had some progress on this product. So when I introduced it, it was 12.5 grams and it's now weighing in at 12 grams. So it's had movement, but I think the majority of that has just been on the back of my hand and not actually on my eyes. So I'll keep it in and we'll see how we get on. I'll probably keep it in until the refresh at the very least, just to give it a fair chance, a fair shot. But you know, I think after that I might be looking at changing this out. So next we're on to eyeshadow palettes, and I talked in my introduction video about how I wanted to work eyeshadows in this year's project. I wanted to do it a little bit differently to 2020's project. What I wanted to do was just have sort of a usage goal on it. So I put in the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, and I wanted to try and use this 15 times at least. That did not happen. Now, I did think that 15 may have been a bit ambitious. Knowing how I use makeup anyway, I thought that that might be a little bit ambitious, but I did think I was going to have a lot more time to play with makeup in January, so I didn't think it was impossible. I just thought I might have to put a bit of effort in. Well, then obviously with things at work not going the way I thought they would, me being ill, I actually only used this 6 times, which was a bit disappointing, but at least I used it 6 times. It could just have been sat in my drawer not being used at all. So there is that positive to take away from it, but I'm a little bit sad that I didn't get more use out of it. You'll see from the photos, you can't really tell a difference. But, you know, I tried, I just didn't get very far. Now, I did think about keeping this in just because things went a bit wrong in January, but I'm not going to do that. I miss playing with colour. I really want to play some more with some colourful eyeshadows. So I am going to take this out and I'm going to put in this. So this is the Raw Beauty Christie and Pure collaboration. This was the double-sided palette. So you've got your neutrals on one side and then you've got the colours on the other, and this side is what I'm wearing today. And I just wanted to give this some more love. When I filmed my eyeshadow collection video, I talked a little bit about the issues with trying to actually get hold of this palette. It was a thing. It was a whole thing, and consequently, every time I look at this, I kind of remember the 16 hours of being in a queue trying to get hold of this, and I want to change that. I want to use this and I want to get some better memories associated with this palette. I want to look at it and think, you're a great palette, not look at it and think, you took me a long time to get. So I am going to put it in, and also I've got a little bit of flexibility with this palette because I do have that neutral side. If I want to go a bit more muted, I can. But if I want to play with colour and experiment with colour and just be a bit more vibrant, I definitely can with this one. So I'm excited for this one. Now, my work situation, my work schedule is not the best at the moment. It doesn't really allow me to do a lot with makeup. It might not make a lot of sense to some people, but basically I'm working permanent early mornings, and I am not the girl to be getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning just to put on a full face of makeup. It's not happening. It's just not happening. So because I am on permanent earlies at the moment, it is really difficult for me to try and get some use out of my makeup. But I am going to make an effort that when I'm not at work, I'm going to try and put some makeup on. Or at least, if I am at work, maybe have a bit of a play in the evenings just to experiment, because that is why I like makeup. That is why I got into makeup, because I enjoyed using it, I enjoy playing with it, I enjoy the process of putting makeup on. I just find it quite therapeutic, and I think maybe after a bit of a rough day at work, maybe it would be nice to just sort of have a bit of a play, you know, maybe not put a full face on, but I could at least play with my eyeshadows and have a bit of a practice and an experiment with those. So I am going to give myself a goal of 10 uses for this palette. That might sound low to some people, but as I've just said, with the way things are at the moment, I think it's doable. And if I can use it more often than that, then I will. And the likelihood is I probably will. I'm hoping, touch wood, I'm not going to be ill for a week this month, you know. But yeah, so hopefully I'll definitely be able to hit that 10, and if I can use it more, then I will. And then next month, depending again on what palette I put in, I'll adjust that usage goal accordingly. So that's that. Next is the eyeliner, and mine is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk eyeliner. I think I might have to take this out. I used it in my intro video, and the following day my eyes were not happy with me, but I wasn't sure whether it was this, whether it was the Urban Decay palette, or whether it was the mascara I was using, because it was about 4 or 5 months old by that point. So I sort of used the palette and the mascara sort of without this, didn't really have an issue. And then the next time I used this, I had another issue with my eyes. So I think I have a reaction with the eyeliner, which is a bit weird for me because I'm not really allergic to anything that I know of anyway, or I never have been anyway. So having a reaction to makeup now is a bit unnerving because it makes me worried about having other things that I might have a reaction to as well. If I'm going to start having reactions to things, then, you know, what else have I got that might cause me issues? So we're going to see how that goes. I don't seem to be having any problems with anything else, but it does make me wonder about the eyeliner I used in last year's project. There was a black eyeliner. I had an eye reaction to that as well, and I thought it was because it was expired. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe there's just something in it that my eyes don't agree with. I'm not sure. So I think for safety, I'm going to take this out of my project. I'm not going to keep it in and force myself to use something that, one, I'm not comfortable using, and two, might actually cause me an injury. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this at the moment. Somebody did actually suggest to me in my intro video that maybe I could use it as a lip liner. I haven't tried it in that way, but I might see what I can do with it. But I don't want to leave it in the project and try and use it up that way when I've already got a lip liner in here. So I think for now I'm just going to take out an eyeliner. I'm not going to put another eyeliner in at this point, just because I don't know what's going on at the moment. I don't know whether it's my eyes, whether it's my eyeliners. I've used other eyeliners and don't seem to have a problem. So I think it was just this one, but I don't want to risk it at the moment. I don't want to risk feeling like I'm forcing myself to use something that might cause me harm. Okay, so next we're on to my brow product, and the one in my project at the moment is the Etude House Drawing Eyebrow Pencil. This is in black brown, I think it is. You can see from the photo again, not much difference because I didn't really use makeup all that much, and as I explained in my intro video, I don't really use a lot in my brows, so this is already going to take me a long time to get through. With me not using makeup, it's going to take even longer. I'm going to persevere, so this is staying in. On to lip liner. We've got the Illamasqua colouring pencil. This one is in the shade Raw. You can see from the photo probably a tiny little bit of usage. I did use this a couple of times, and I've sharpened it at least once, but again, not a tremendous amount of use. So I am going to keep this in and continue to try and finish it. The two Maybelline Superstay ink crayons, I didn't use these at all. There's literally no point me showing you a photo of this month for the update because there was no usage, so there's no movement on them. I am going to try and use them a little bit more in February, but January really was just a lost cause. It was pretty much the same with the Melted Matte lipstick from Too Faced as well. This one is in the shade Cool Girl. I think I used this twice. That's how often I wore makeup in January. I can pretty much, you know, list on one hand the amount of times I used them. But yeah, I only used it a couple of times, so the weight movement, there was none. It was 30... Yeah, so it was 32 grams when I introduced it last month, and it's 32 grams now, so it just didn't happen. Next up is lip gloss, and we've got the I Heart Revolution lip gloss in Salty Caramel. I did use this a couple of times, but yeah, again, no movement. It was 17.5 grams when I introduced this into this year's project, and it's still 17.5 grams now. I'm not surprised by that, but I do feel like I'm going to get some more use out of it during this next month, so keeping it in. And the last of the lip products is the EOS lip balm, and you can see from the photo this is the one product that I pretty much hammered. Because of how dry my lips have been, I've just constantly been using lip balms. I could probably have finished this had I not have been using another one at the same time. So this kind of ended up in my work bag. So when I've been at home, I've been using something else. I just need to remember to take this out of my bag and use it all the time to try and use it up. But yeah, it's still working for me. I think by the next update this is going to be pretty much done with, so that's good. At least there's something I'm using. And then last but not least is my perfumes. So in my project at the moment I've got a bunch of samples, so they're all in this little bag here. So in my introduction video I had 21 samples to use. I'm now down to 18. I actually managed to use 3 up. I'm quite excited by that. The 3 I used are these 3. So we've got the Carolina Herrera Good Girl, which I don't know if you can see that very well. We've got the Black Opium from Yves Saint Laurent, and we've got the Viktor and Rolf Flower Bomb Midnight. I quite liked all 3 of these, to be honest. In order of preference I would have to go Viktor and Rolf, Carolina Herrera, and then the Yves Saint Laurent. Nothing wrong with the Black Opium. I know a lot of people really like this perfume. I can totally understand why. It's just that compared to these 2, this sort of didn't quite meet up to what I like in a perfume. These 2, the Viktor and Rolf, I love the original Flower Bomb. I love it so much, and I've been wanting a full size of that perfume for a long time. I just can't bring myself to pay that much money for a perfume. But yeah, really love that perfume, and this Midnight version, I really enjoyed it. It was just a little bit deeper than the Flower Bomb. I liked it. The Carolina Herrera Good Girl, I really like this too. It's kind of floral, but with that sort of sexy undertone that I've been really enjoying lately, so that was really nice. And then just sort of compared to those, the Black Opium was kind of along the same lines, but it smelled just that little bit more sweet to me. So it just wasn't, out of the 3, this one wasn't my favourite, but it was still nice, and if I had another sample I'd still use it up. But if I'm looking at things that I would repurchase, I probably wouldn't repurchase this one now that I know that I like the other 2. So that brings us to the end of this update. So now it's over to you guys. If you're doing a project, let me know how you're getting on with it. Leave a link to your videos if you've got any videos, or Instagram channels if you're just showcasing your progress on Instagram. I really do love to see other people's content. It sort of helps to inspire me to carry on with my project. So please let me know how you're getting on. What do you think about my progress this month, or lack of it as the case may be? Maybe you've got some hints or tips on how to use some of the products that I've got more effectively. Just let me know all of that in the comments down below. I really do love to hear other people's thoughts and opinions. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button for me. It really helps me out and lets me know that you're enjoying my content. If you're not already subscribed to my channel and you think you'd like to catch up with me more often, then I'd love it if you could hit that subscribe button too. It's totally free and would help you to find me more easily in future. And with all of that being said, I really hope everyone's well and staying safe, and I will see you all again in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.